Hello everyone, Glenda Mollet here, and I'm in my craft room stamping with you today. It's one of my March 2021 club cards that we'll be making using the art gallery bundle. So here's the card we're going to do. And the card kit includes a basic black card base. Then on the inside I did something a little funky. I added an extra layer in there and did some stamping. So we have the Saffron and then a white layer for inside. And on the front we're just going to put the acetate, the Golden Garden acetate. And then we have a circle die cut and out of basic white, and a circle die cut out of Vellum. So it's layering circle number 6 and number 8 counted from the inside, the middle out, and then we're going to then we have a couple of leaves from the Poppy Moments dies. So there's 3 of those. Then there's a piece of white to stamp the flower in, and we're going to use gold embossing powder on that. A piece of black with adhesive sheet on the back to do the sentiment, just want to say, and then a piece of white for I miss you. So most of it is done already. I just have to do a little bit of stamping and die cutting. So we have that piece, and I'm going to stamp the background part of this flower in Saffron. Oop, there we go. Do that first, and then we're going to let that sit while I die cut the other ones, just because I don't have my embossing buddy here to put embossing buddy, and I didn't use it on the first one, and you can see it's got a lot of little gold flecks in there. Now if you want those gold flecks, that's fine. That's because I didn't let it dry properly. So I'm just going to die cut the just want to say die, and I'm going to do that upside down and put this on top of it. Because it's got adhesive sheet on it, it just cuts a little bit better upside down. And I'll run that through my die cutting machine. Okay, now have to be very careful. So I cut it like this with the cutting edges up. Now I just have to be careful because I don't want to lose the top of that J. So you get my vellum out, make sure I get the right way up, and we'll take oops, just flipped right out of the way. Take the words out. And the top of the J is still in there, and I'm going to leave it in there until I get this done. Okay, so I'm going to take the just and put that on first. Just, and then want. Sometimes getting the liner off the back is the worst part. Oops. And be careful you don't break it. I'm going to stick that in right like that because it has to go up really close in order to get all of it on there. And then I'll have the say. And it's going to go way over this side, as far over as I can get it. Now this is hanging off a bit, but I'm not worried about that part. And then we have the 2. There we are. Now, let's get rid of this so I don't get confused over which is the piece for the top of the J. And we'll take that out of the die now. And take the liner off of it. And it just goes like that right on top. Okay. So now take some Tombow glue and put it in behind the words so that we can attach it to the white circle. Oh, I think I got up too high there. To remember that this doesn't do the whole circle. Oh well. It will do. Now I'm going to set that off to the side to dry. And there's the circle. And then we're going to do the same thing on the back of this. It's going to have this about here. So I'm just going to flip that over. And you can use the gold side or the silver side. Completely up to you. But because I have that's where that circle is going, I can put adhesive behind there. Like that. And then I'm just going to put a few dots just around the edge on the areas that are solid, just so it sits down a little bit. Now this acetate usually stays pretty good. You don't need too much. And my adhesive is down here, so now I'll just set that off to the side to dry. There. Okay, this should be well dried by now. Oh, I forgot my gold embossing powder. And my heat gun. Okay, there's my heat gun. Plug it in here. Get my gold embossing powder ready. Now we're going to take the next part of the flower and VersaMark ink. Now you don't have to do this. If you don't want to use embossing powders, just stamp it with a darker yellow on there, like Bumblebee or something. Okay, so now I'm going right over top like that. There. We'll put the gold embossing powder on. Oh, that's much better. There we are. Put the lid on so I don't have gold embossing powder everywhere when I turn on my heat gun. Okay, pardon the noise for a moment. And I'm just going to heat up the embossing powder. You hold it still until it starts to change, and then you just slowly walk the way across. There we are. Okay, put that over there. And now we're going to die cut this. Use a post-it note to hold it in place so it doesn't go anywhere. Okay. I like these post-it notes. They're waterproof ones or water-resistant ones, and they're plastic. They make wonderful hold-in-place things. Okay, I didn't get that exactly even, but I'm letting it go. Okay, so have our, might as well stamp our inside while we're at it. So I'm just going to stamp the bouquet on there and the envelope. Now what did I use? I used Saffron. Here it is. And the envelope. Okay, now I'm going to take Bumblebee. And the center. Now you don't have to do this if you don't have Bumblebee, because it doesn't really show. It shows up really good when it's wet, but when it's dry it doesn't show up a lot. So if you just do it one tone, you're fine. I bet when I showed you the inside in the envelope you didn't even notice that it was double stamped. Okay. All the stamping is done. Except for the sentiment. I didn't stamp the sentiment yet. That's in Memento. Okay. Now, I need to die cut that. With the little die, or use whatever sentiment you have. Okay, now we're ready to go. Okay, card base and the acetate. And then this, what's this stuff called? Vellum. Ah, good Lord. It's tough when you don't remember the names of the papers. And I'm just going to put this over top of here. That's where I had the adhesive. And then this goes over top of here, like that. Oh, shoot. Okay. Hopefully I left enough. I have to pull this back up because I have to put the leaves in underneath there. So there's 3 of them. There's 2 big ones and a little one. And I'm going to cut the ends off. Cut those ends off. some Tombow. On there. There we go. Now, put, oops, one big one up here. And one big one there. And don't forget your flower is going to sit in here, so you need to have them up far enough that they're going to show behind the flower. Let's see if I can pull that one up a little bit. There we go. And tuck the last one under there as well. And then put some adhesive on this, and this will help hold those leaves in place too. And it just gets tucked right under there, like that. There we go. Now, I Miss You is up on Dimensionals. I'm just going to go right underneath there. Let's get it straight though. There we go. Okay, now put adhesive on the inside piece. Layer it onto the Saffron. And then we'll put adhesive on that. Got a little bit of glue on there. Gotta get rid of that before my card starts sticking to it. And then we'll just layer that on the inside of the card. There we are. Such a gorgeous card. And you see what I mean about when that ink dries, you can barely see it. So there is one of the cards for the March Club. March 2021 Club. Thanks so much for joining me, ladies. I hope you enjoy this card. Stampin' Smiles and bye for now.